When you work at a theme park, you realize the vast majority of guests are great, but there are some, yeah, they just need some help. Real help. The guests at theme parks that I worked at were fantastic generally. They were amazing people, they were having fun, they were aware of what was going on, but there was a certain group of people that they just needed some help. They needed some understanding of what was going on, where they were, uh, maybe just analyzing information. And over the course of 5 years at Disney, I ran into a few guests that, for lack of a better word, they just weren't all there. And they made sure to share that experience with me. And it could be at any point, any time, anywhere. And it was just off the wall things. I mean, we got used to questions like, what time is the 3 o'clock parade? And let me just throw this out there. Everything I tell you is authentic, true, real experiences I've had. I am not making anything up. I have been accused of that before. I promise you, everything I tell you here is real. And if you work with people, you will understand. And if you don't believe it, maybe you're one of those people. But yes, we got asked on a regular basis things like, what time is the 3 o'clock parade? Where is Harry Potter when you're at Disney? Various things like that. People that just weren't really aware of what they were asking. Okay, it happens. We joked that the finger scanner sucked the brains out, but some people just have issues like that. But then there's people that take it to a whole nother level. One of the places I shot pictures at Magic Kingdom was out in front of the train station, right at the entrance. You walk in the park and you immediately see a photographer. And I remember I was out there, the park was open, people were coming in, and as I'm looking around to see who I could take pictures of, here comes this family, and the dad is super excited, super happy. Hey kids, everybody get your picture in front of the castle. Now keep in mind, this is Magic Kingdom. You've got the entrance area, the train station, a couple tunnels on each side of the train station that go out to Main Street and the square, and then the castle's down at the other end. They're looking at the train station. Excuse me, sir. That's not the castle. That's the train station. The castle is... What are you talking about? Kids, just ignore him. This is the castle. Get your picture in front of the castle. And we had a couple of minutes there of me trying to explain, sir, this is the train station. The castle's on the other side. You're going to see the castle in a few minutes. This is a repeating theme. He basically told me, why are you lying to me? Stop lying to us. This is obviously the castle. Kids, get your picture in front of the castle. Okay, because I'm in the business of lying to you. Sure. And insistent the whole time. This is the castle. This is the castle. I've always wondered, all these years later, what their reaction was after they walked into the park itself and got to Main Street and saw the actual castle. Is that the train station? The train even came in while they were taking their picture. And I'm like, it's the train station. You shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Look at the castle. And again, these are the isolated ones. These are the unusual ones. And that's why I remember them all these years later. But people would come in and they would just be confused about things. And they would see things and not know they saw it. Another good example is a gentleman. I'm down at the Castle Hub, right where everything's in a circle, and I'm taking pictures. And this gentleman walks up to me and asks, how do I get to Haunted Mansion? Okay, well, Haunted Mansion, you see Liberty Square right over there. You cross that bridge, and Haunted Mansion is going to be almost straight in front of you. No, it's not. I'm sorry, sir. It's right. No, it's not. What do you mean, no, it's not? It's right there. That's where I just came from. I was just there. The Haunted Mansion isn't there. And a 5 to 10 minute long conversation ensues where he's gradually getting more and more upset and gradually getting madder. And then he starts accusing me of lying to him. I mean, I even pulled a map out and said, look, Haunted Mansion, Liberty Square, it's right there. Stop lying to me. Stop giving me misinformation. Just tell me how to get to the Haunted Mansion. I'm trying to tell you that it's right. I don't know why you're lying to me. Why would I lie to you? Finally, to make him happy, because he doesn't want to believe that, I tell him, okay, I'm sorry. Let me tell you another way to get there. See the Tomorrowland Bridge here? Head over to Tomorrowland. Once you get into there and you can see the opportunity, make a left turn. Follow that path all the way around. It's going to take you over to Fantasyland. When you see Fantasyland, kind of make a hook left, go through Fantasyland. You're going to go past the carousel, past Peter Pan, past It's a Small World. You're going to see this low overhanging bridge. Go underneath that bridge on that path. Keep going straight a little bit, and Haunted Mansion will be on your right. Thank you. I don't know why that was so hard to tell me. It's about time. And he walks off towards Tomorrowland. Okay, enjoy your tour of half of the park, sir, when you could have gone right there. It was this recurring theme of, why are you lying to me? And that was the one thing I realized, that all of these guests who didn't know what they were doing, didn't know where they were, didn't know what was going on, it was always, why are you lying to me? Why would I lie? What do I get out of it? What is the purpose? I want you to have a good time and have fun. I'm not going to lie. Anytime you think a theme park employee is lying to you, question yourself, why would they lie to you? That's not what they're there for. But we would get accused of it. And people would just look at us like we're off the wall. The ones that would come up to us at Epcot and ask us, where's the castle? Well, you're at the wrong park. It's 3 miles that way. Why would you tell me that? Because that's where the castle is. How do you get to Universal? Well, you've got to leave out here, call an Uber or something, or a taxi, and take that. Why can't I just take a Disney bus? Because they're not Disney. Why would you tell me that? Because they're not Disney. It's just, we're not here to make you miserable. We're just being honest. I still remember one gentleman. I had opened up the view one morning at Epcot. It's called the Camera Center. It's right underneath Spaceship Earth. We're dead. Nobody comes into the shop first thing in the morning. So we're kind of standing there by the door. We're watching as people go by. We're waving at them. And here goes this young, middle-aged Asian man, walks on past. A few minutes later, probably about 10, 15 minutes later, here he comes again. Oh, good morning again. About 15, 20 minutes later, here he comes again, always from the same direction. And at this point, the other cast members from merchandise and I are kind of going, what's going on with this guy? The fourth time he came by, he's coming up again, and we're like, whoa, hold on, wait. This is the fourth time you've come by. Where are you trying to go? What's going on here? He's like, well, all I see is Spaceship Earth. Where's the rest of the park? Did you notice the direction that everybody else is walking when you got past Spaceship Earth? The fact you were walking against traffic? Get up there and you make a left or a right, or go straight. Straight ahead goes to the World Showcase. Left takes you over to Test Track. Right takes you over to Soarin'. And he kept walking around. Couldn't find the rest of the park. Now, in fairness, my wife and I did this in Old City, Jerusalem. My wife was looking for a shop down near the entrance to the Western Wall, and she kept taking us on loops. And the third time we walked past this other shopkeeper, he's looking at us like, it's 3 times. And I'm going, I'm just following her. She's sure she knows of a shop here. And my wife's not good with directions. But yes, people get lost. But yeah, when you're going upstream, everybody's coming this way and you're going that way. But yeah, people would get lost. He was very nice. He was very happy we helped him out. But he was definitely very confused. But being at the parks could be a stressful thing. It could be confusing. I still remember one time at Star Wars weekends, I was there with my family. We're enjoying a day off. We're playing. We're seeing characters. And then you see this man with his wife pushing a stroller, and he's losing it. Just losing it. And he's yelling and he's screaming. And you can tell she's totally humiliated. And he's just going on, rah, and we're kind of watching like, what's this guy gonna do? So I actually set my family on ahead a little bit. My wife was like, "You're not gonna jump him, right?" No, I'm not gonna jump him. I'm just gonna watch and make sure that he doesn't go beyond screaming. And caught up with another cast member who was also kind of trailing in the distance and watching. And so I kind of joined them, and we're chatting like, okay. Young lady was with, and she's like, "Well, what are you going to do?" I'm like, "Hopefully nothing." It's like, I'm just going to kind of trail with you, and if he starts to get physical, okay, then I may jump in. But I prefer to wait till security gets there. But you would see people just, something didn't go right, something didn't happen the way they wanted it to or expected it to, and they just lose it. And then all you could do is, okay, how can you calm them down? We actually had a whole training session on that, and I'll get into that in another video later on. But yeah, when people got upset, they didn't think, and then you get crazy things like this lady came up to me at studios one time, older lady, and honestly, I think she may have been suffering from a little bit of dementia, but she walks up to me and,
Excuse me, can you tell me where can I find the monorail station that will take me from here over to Animal Kingdom?
if you've never been to Disney, the monorail goes to Magic Kingdom, the parking lot, and Epcot. That's it. And the resort hotels over by Magic Kingdom. There's no monorail over at Hollywood Studios. There's no monorail over at Animal Kingdom. There's not a monorail that runs either to this park or to Animal Kingdom. There's bus service, or you'll have to take a car over.
I don't want the bus. I want to take the monorail. Where's the monorail station over to Animal Kingdom?
Ma'am, there's not a monorail station here or at Animal Kingdom. You can take a bus over to Animal Kingdom. The stations are out.
But I want to take the monorail, not the bus.
Sorry, man, but really the only way to get to Animal Kingdom is either by bus or by car. There's no monorail.
That's not true. There's a monorail that comes to this park.
No, ma'am, I'm sorry. There's a monorail over at Magic Kingdom and at Epcot, but you're at Hollywood Studios. We don't have a monorail here. You had to come in either by bus or boat or car.
Yes, there is. I don't know why you're lying to me about the monorail. There's a monorail that comes here.
And she's getting madder and madder. And of course, then we get into the why are you lying to me? Because, I obviously enjoy lying. And what is my problem? Why don't I just do my job and tell her how to get on the monorail? And, and I explained to her, the monorail's over at Epcot. But she just breaks down.
I can't believe that you're sitting here lying to me like this. I thought you cast members are supposed to be helpful. There is a monorail station here to this park because I rode it here this morning.
You're right. I'm sorry, ma'am. You obviously rode the monorail in here this morning, and as soon as you got off, they started tearing the station down and completely leveled it. It's gone now. You're welcome to go out and look at the pile of rubble if you'd like. In the meantime, you're going to have to take a bus or a car over to Animal Kingdom because it's going to take you more than 15 minutes to get the whole thing rebuilt for you. My mistake. If she went to guest relations after that, I never heard about it because they probably would have laughed at her as well. But yes, I really did tell her that. Yeah, some people just plain lost it. Probably the biggest example of a group I could remember losing it was I was working in Magic Kingdom one time. I had picked up a shift, and where I was at was right by the drop on Splash Mountain, taking pictures of the drop. It was kind of an extra spot. And because I had picked up the shift and because I knew what I was doing, I was actually roving around. But that was kind of where I was at. I see a couple security guys come walking fast-paced by me with their radios on. And I hear something about the entrance over at Splash Mountain. Now, I've got my crowd control training. So if there's an issue with crowd control or whatever, I'm trained. So I follow in behind them, figuring, this might be something this may come in handy. They look at me a little bit and I'm like, I'm crowd trained. Come on. And we come around towards the entrance to Splash Mountain, and there's definitely a crowd there, kind of gathered, and some people are walking away looking terrified and kind of going, what is going on? And as we get up and we kind of make our way through the crowd, there is a Brazilian tour group there. Now, the Brazilian tour groups typically were high school or young college age. They would have a couple tour guides, and they were known for not being on the best behavior, chanting and singing in shows and in lines and ignoring lines, and just kind of doing their own thing and doing what they want when they wanted it, pushing through the lines, making enough noise for a show that you couldn't hear it. Just not good behavior. Well, this group was probably, 30 people or so, 30, 40. It was a good sized group. High school age. They had gotten to Splash Mountain, which is a water ride. They're not wanting to get their regular clothes wet. So they decided to change clothes. Except they didn't go into the restrooms. They just dropped stuff and started changing right out there in front of the ride. And you're kind of going, I don't want to see that. That's not what I'm signed up for. And there's families walking by and kids, and they're just going, Mommy, why does that person have no clothes on? And it's just like, oh my goodness. Now, I have been accused a couple times of making this story up. I promise you it's true. And from everything I've heard, it is not the only time it happened. But I had to immediately turn around, turn my back to him, thank goodness, and start directing traffic. Folks, just keep moving. You don't want to stop here. Keep moving. Entrance to the right is that way. Exits that way. And started directing traffic and telling people go somewhere else. Get out of the way. And I could hear the security guys behind me trying to kind of form a wall a little bit. Me and other cast members so that other guests wouldn't get stuck with this. And they're yelling at them like, what are you doing? Put your clothes on. We don't care what clothes. Just get something on. Get covered. They didn't want to get wet. So they decided to change clothes. It's just... And you're sitting there and you're directing traffic and people are asking you, what's going on? I'm not sure I really know. If what I think is going on, I hope isn't going on. And just keep moving. We're not going to talk about this. So, yeah, that was probably the craziest experience. It just, what would make you think that was okay? Yeah, guests sometimes, they were definitely unique experiences. So is this one. He causing all sorts of trouble, aren't you? Everybody say bye. So, I hope you had fun listening to this and watching. Let me know what you think. If you got some crazy stories, I'd love to hear them. Share them in the comments below. Thank you again to our supporters for supporting us and helping make this possible. Thank you so much for watching. God bless. Bye.
Hey, what's that button?
That button will show you another one of our videos.
And that one?
That one will help you subscribe if you haven't already.
Oh, and then there's all these names floating by?
Yeah, this is all of our supporters on Patreon and YouTube members.
Oh, so those are the ones that get the special perks.
Yeah, and if you want to know more about that, click on that button right there.
Thanks.
No, thank you.
And thanks for watching.
God bless.